adjustments for Jacksonville Beach. The Board of Adjustment meetings are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who is not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located on the side table by the door and turn them into the clerk. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause and cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your cell phone. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland,
Here.
Owen Curley,
Here.
Jeff Trular, Jennifer Williams,
Here.
Matt Metz,
Here.
Laura Tierney.
Here.
Okay, there are no minutes to approve. Do we have any correspondence? No correspondence?
Nothing.
Nothing? No correspondence? Okay. No old business, so can we call our first new business, please?
Call case number BOA 24, I thought I got it on, sorry. Case number BOA 24-100085, applicant Robin and Johnny Cotton. Property address 823rd Avenue North. Motion to consider sections 34-337E1E for 52% lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum. 34-337E1C2 for combined side yard setback of 14.9 feet in lieu of 15 feet minimum. 34-337E1D for no garage or carport in lieu of a required garage or carport. 34-337 for no required parking spaces in lieu of 2 spaces required for construction of an addition to primary structure and to rectify existing nonconformities.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
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 And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Jill Kessner, and I live at 518 Laura L-O-R-I Street in Neptune Beach, Florida, 32266.
Please go ahead.
Basically, our clients, the Cottons, are living here in Jacksonville Beach and have enjoyed their home here. They have been out of compliance since they changed the lot coverage from 6,000 to 7,500 square feet, just with all existing structures. This is an older couple that are retired. The wife's father, who just turned 100 years old, is out in Texas. They're trying to create a space for him so he'll have a place in their home. So we're looking for this variance to 52.2%, I think, is going to be the lot coverage once the 11 by 18 room is constructed. And that's our request. We understood this to be a hardship since it already was non-conforming.
Okay, does any member of the board have questions?
I just want to make sure I'm understanding, based off of the image you're showing, just the part that's highlighted in red would be the addition, all of the brick pavers that are here.
Everything is
Currently exists.
existing. That's correct. And you notice that the addition is even within the existing footprint of the building, so it's not that we're even pushing outside of that footprint and encroaching that much more.
Was there any consideration of removing any of those pavers to get closer to the lot coverage that's outlined in the LDC, or replacing pavers with something that might be permeable to help with the drainage in the area?
Do you know what? I can't respond to that. That hasn't been a point of conversation. However, I can tell you that determining the location of the room had to do with ADA compliance and ease of mobility for the 100-year-old dad that she's caring for. So, yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Do you know if they've spoken to the neighbors?
Actually, we did a renovation on their rear-facing neighbors. And so they actually went a little higher and did a little different, and that was their inspiration to, there could be hope in getting a room for their dad.
I meant, have the neighbors come in, and have they spoken to the neighbors about this?
Yes.
Or-
Yes, they have.
There.
And actually, what they were originally going to do, what we had started investigating was doing an addition. There is an accessory building, it's a CMU block garage, going ahead and adding a second story to that, and then converting that into another space for their visitors to come into town. But then there was a turn in care for the elderly father, so that knocked that out, and everybody was on board. They're great members of the community.
I appreciate that.
Certainly.
My question is, did the applicant speak to the neighbors? And if so, what were their reactions to this variance request?
They were excited for them,
Okay, great, thank you.
absolutely.
Any other questions?
I had a quick question, just a clarification. I saw in there that it was already at 49%. Is that correct? And, but that had not been previously approved by the board?
It was conforming when it was constructed, the age of construction, I think it was built in the 50s.
Okay.
So, ordinances changed that.
Any other?
I think there's two things. One is that our code actually prohibits us from using physical status, health concerns, and so on as a legitimate reason for an exception. But this does seem to me to be a reasonable, it's substandard lot, and if it was a standard lot, we would be at only 45% lot coverage as opposed to 52% lot coverage.
But I think currently, it's 35%, correct?
That's the
For a
maximum,
conforming lot.
that's
Right.
conforming lot, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
I've done.
Okay, ma'am, you can step back.
Thank you very much.
And I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? No. Is there any member of the audience who's not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I move to approve BOA 24-100085 based on the standards for variance as found in section 34-286 of the Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, so we move in second. Any discussion?
It seems like a minimal variance that's required, so, I mean, considering what it's already at currently at 49%.
Yeah, I think what stands out to me is the amount of pavers between the two existing structures and on the back of the garage structure. It's definitely an undersized lot. It looks like it has a very conservative driveway, limited pavers to walk path. But as we look at what this would look like, even if it was a conforming lot, it would still far exceed the 35%. And I'm not clear on whether or not due diligence was done in considering what alternative measures could be taken to restrict this to the minimum necessary to achieve their use of the law. Fully appreciating the situation that they're in, and seconding or repeating what the board has already stated, that we're not in a position to consider individual criteria as much as the lot itself is the only thing we're allowed to consider at the board. But definitely appreciate the situation the family is facing. Wish them the best.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, can we go ahead and have a roll call vote, please?
John Mullen,
Yes.
Jennifer Williams.
Yes.
Matt Metz,
No,
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Carley.
Yes. Your request for variance has been approved.
Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Can we call the next case, please?
Call BOA 24-1000086, applicant Adam Wolf, property address 1013 8th Avenue North. Motion to consider sections 34-337E1E for 42% lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum for construction of swimming pool with decking in conjunction with a single-family home.
Okay, just a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communications?
I've had none.
None.
I've had none.
And I've had none. The applicant has come forward. Can you please be sworn in and present your testimony?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Adam Wolf, 1013 8th Avenue North, Jackson Beach.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'm looking to have a variance, recently new to Jackson Beach. I'm from Atlantic Beach, purchased the house this summer. We were at 40%, looking to move that to 42%. We have a very weird lot. You know, I know that's not, shop talk for, it's a very different lot. We were told by the fire marshal that we had to have more driveway because of the size of our lot and where we were fixated. And so we're looking to move that from 40% to 42%.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
My question is more out of curiosity.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure I ever found the property. And initially I went to 1013 8th Avenue North,
Mhm.
and there was not a number. It went from, I think, 11 to 15. So I just thought, well, maybe it's the street rather than the,
No, we're having the same issue with a lot of folks. It's a brand new property. They took, I think it was 1021 8th Avenue, and the builder, it was a L shape with a alley. And he took it and subdivided it, built 2 homes on it, and we had one of them, and ours was a brand new address, is 1013.
oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Can we scroll up on the presentation to the satellite image and maybe can point to it, because I was struggling to locate it as well. Can you help us?
Yeah, see where the alley is, the 0 between 15 and 17? That's our new driveway, and where 1021 is, that is 1013.
Oh,
Yeah, so we took the entire alley, and then we have that lot there.
So you have no road frontage, you're kind of tucked in the middle of.
We have road frontage on 8th Avenue and 9th Avenue. So we have, if I had the clicker, I could see where 9th Avenue cul-de-sac is, that's our entrance. Other side. Oh, okay, thanks.
Basically, what was that easement has become your driveway, and
Yeah,
that's the only road frontage you have?
Correct, yes, so the house is here, and then here's the 8th Avenue, the mailbox here, the address, or the driveway there, and then we have a driveway to 9th Avenue as well. And this lot here was one whole lot, yeah, 21, that's what, and the builder subdivided it to where 21 stayed, and this was brand new. 2 homes, 2 brand new homes. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, all the letters, you can imagine.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But,
Oh, but the privacy you must have.
privacy, yeah, that's the trade-off, yeah. I'll take that over, the delivery is messing up, so.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for the applicant? Any other questions?
I have none.
Does your driveway run both directions, the driveway to north and a driveway to 8th, or is it only to 8th? How did that?
8th and 9th. Yeah, so originally, the plan was to run it from 8th to the house, and then I was told by the builder, when we were building it, that the fire marshal said we had to run it all the way to 9th for safety, and if we didn't have to run it all the way to 9th, we would have been within the variance,
So
or
that
within the
extra
percentage.
driveway up to 9th is what consumed your lot coverage?
Correct, and we probably have one of the largest, longest driveways in Jackson Beach at this point.
It's a block home, it's a full city home.
Have you spoken to your neighbors,
Yes.
and what was their reaction?
No problems at all. They were very happy when we came in there, because we put brand new fencing up for everybody surrounding our property, so.
Okay, sir, if there's no other questions, you can step back.
Okay, thank you.
I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? Okay, is there anyone in the audience who has not yet filled out a speaker card that wishes to speak? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make the motion to approve BOA 24-100086 based on the testimony and evidence provided. The request has met all the standards for a variance as outlined in 34-286. The land development.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
It's an undersized lot, it's clearly oddly shaped, as well as the stated constraints around fire code, which is what has pushed them over the coverage limit outlined in the code. I think it's also worth stating that if it was a regular lot, even with this ask, the relative coverage would still be 39 and some change, so still not an overreach. Part of this is requesting a pool, which, as we know, water goes into a pool. Like, if drainage is an issue, if anything, this sort of is a water capture. That's not really a consideration for the land development code. But I think that the awkward shape of the lot and the special circumstance for meeting fire code is clear, unique circumstance to make this a minimum viable use of the property.
Well stated. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no further discussion, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so next on our docket is 87 and 88. We have a memo that those are being withdrawn. Only
No,
87?
87 is withdrawn, 88, just one portion of this.
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
follow this.
Do we have to vote on it being 87 being postponed, or just it's withdrawn?
Yeah, it's moved on to the
Okay.
next meeting.
All right, great.
I call case number BOA 24-100088, applicant Greg Barnett, property address 27 32nd Avenue South, proposed lot B. Motion to consider sections 34-336E1C1 for a front yard setback of 16 feet in lieu of 25 feet minimum, 34-336E1C2 for side yard setbacks of 7.5 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum for both east and west side yard, 34-E1C3 for a rear yard setback of 25 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum. We're going to postpone the decision on the area, for
The lot coverage,
the
that's
lot
right,
coverage
that's
for the
right,
next.
that's right.
Okay, just a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
None.
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 And I've had none. The applicant has come forward. Please be sworn in and give your presentation.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Greg Barnett, 1280 Plantation Oaks Drive, Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
So, we have bought lot 5, lot 6, and 37.5 feet of lot 7. And we're postponing the first side of it. So A is everything, thank you. So we have a two substandard lots. Lot B is a substandard lot. And we are working to reduce the side yard setback from 20 down to 15. Reduce the front to 16 because on the other lot, that is the second frontage, because the lot is 81 feet, 20% of that gives you 16, and we were trying to line up the back lot with the front lot house. So that's the front yard setback. And we were kind of just trying to fit everything there. The lot coverage, I guess we're postponing because it was written not right, so.
That's right.
So, yeah. So we're only asking for the front yard, rear yard, and side yard setback variance.
Okay, does any board member have any questions?
land development code when you purchased the lots?
As in the rewrite?
As in the existing code that you're asking for exceptions to?
Yes.
Thank you.
Have you talked to any of the neighbors?
Yeah, actually, the lady there's only 2 current houses on, thank you, 3115. I'm actually friends with the fiance, and they have no opposition. Chuck Horn is the fiance, he's also a local builder. He has pulled the land development variance request, and he has talked to his fiance and basically said that, you know, we're not asking for an exorbitant amount. There's a lady across the street, we've spoken to them. I have not spoken to anyone on the ocean.
And any adverse reaction to your, what you proposed?
No. No, and primarily there's not many, if you go back to the geomap, right? On 31st, there's 3 lots, and on 32nd, there's 2 lots. So we're just, you know, we're just putting 3 lots in.
Right, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Yes, sir, you can step back. I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? None? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who has not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion, bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA 24-100088 based on testimony and evidence provided. The request has met all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-286 of the Land Development Code.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I feel like these are pretty substantial exceptions on each section of the lot. Particularly 16 foot from the front is substantially lower than what we've seen from many other requests. It does look like, from the map's view at least, it may not be exceptional on this block, given the neighboring property is facing a different direction to a different street, and that would be their side yard, so it may fall in company relatively well. But from a front yard setback, it's pretty low relative to what we've seen even in exceptions. I find it hard to think of this lot as an undersized lot, given its existing coverage and the knowledge of the impact of dividing the lot. I recognize the applicant does not do that division, those are pre-plotted, but going into this knowingly, buying an entire lot, dividing it, and then claiming you don't have enough space, to me is a creation of the applicant. And then this isn't a lot that, based on what's being requested here, is minor exceptions, minor alterations. These are significant misses from what the Land Development Code requires from setbacks. So at large.
Technically, he's not really causing it because it's already a lot of record, because these are actually like 3.5 lots, right? 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, we discussed at length with the
So
board,
it's not-
I acknowledged that in my statement, that the city does the plots,
Yeah.
but he knowingly bought those 3 lots and knowingly is trying to build on one of the 3. I'm just stating that into the record, that that is not a situation where somebody that owned the lot divided it in 3 and sold it in 3 separate parts. I think that's a different circumstance, but I acknowledge that he did not create the lot or its dimensions. But what is being requested here are exceptional minimums relative to what we've approved in other variances is what I'm stating. Particularly the front yard setback of 16 feet.
My understanding that when it comes to subdividing lots, that you just go down to the tax collector and subdivide the lot there, but the city of Jacksonville Beach has no control over that.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, like technically these lots already exist as what they are.
Right.
Somebody just decided to build on them, so he's allowed to like put them back to their original fit. So that's what I'm trying to get at. He's just putting it back to what it was originally at. So that's technically not really causing a problem.
And what I'm getting at
Is what
is he's allowed to build in it within the LDC, and the LDC says he can't do this. And so we're here to talk about exception and whether there's cause for exception.
but
And I'm
since
just stating into the record that he knew what he was doing when he did this. And if we grant an exception, we grant one. But to me, the distance being requested is above and beyond what we've seen in other exceptions. And I just want that on record.
like I'm saying, since it's a lot of record and he's putting it back to the original, it causes a hardship because now it's an undersized lot. So it's back to its original form.
Right. Right. Okay, any other discussion on this? Okay, no further discussion. Can we have a roll call vote?
Matt Metz,
No.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Jennifer Williams.
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved. Okay, so now we're at 89.
I call case number BOA 24-100089, applicant Salt Air Homes, Inc., property address 419 Fifth Avenue North, Lot 10. Motion to consider section 34-33A E1F for 33% lot coverage in lieu of 35% for construction of a single-family dwelling.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
None.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Doesn't look
Do we have any
I don't
reason?
see Oliver here. I know who he is.
Oh, the crowd, right?
Yeah, I don't see him here.
Never told me. Are you guys the owners?
No, we're the neighbors. We wanted to see what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Maybe disappointed.
Oliver's not here tonight.
What should we do? Should we postpone it?
Do you have a picture of it? Can you put up the picture? Well, that
What it's
doesn't.
trying to do?
The next
But they don't have a picture of what it's gonna be, that's just a
I
lot.
guess it's
Well, that's,
But it's gonna be single family?
I think, yeah, 2 single families.
Yeah, it's gonna be
2 single family?
Mm-hmm.
where they tied together.
One side, one the other one. This is the other
Is it gonna,
application.
is
You
it
can
gonna have
also,
a
you can
breezeway?
access all of this documentation on the
Okay.
city website in the agenda minutes. You can get a copy of the PDF where you'll be able to see the full staff notes as well as these images.
Okay,
And so if it does get deferred and you wanna get up to speed,
all right.
you can.
Thank you.
It'll show you, it has a plat of the existing building, and then it'll have a plat showing what they intend to put on it. So you can take a look.
Thank you.
And American Classic Homes is the owner at this point? Down at the
The owner
bottom
is
right.
Salt Air Homes, Inc.
Okay. Maybe I got checked, maybe they bought it.
Do you guys know what the pink ribbons around trees mean and the green ribbons around trees?
Pink means, tree removal permit. Green, I don't know, but the pink means, tree removal, because I'm one of those.
Okay.
I think green stays.
Green stays?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But pink for sure is a removal.
Is the removal? Okay.
good to know.
Okay, so do we have a motion to postpone this? When do you want us to postpone it?
February.
February 4th. Both of them, because.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And make a motion to postpone BOA 24-10089 and BOA 24-10090 to our next meeting on February 4th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call vote?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Jennifer Williams.
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, those have been postponed, and that's that. Okay, planning department report?
The first reading of the LEC report will be on February 3rd, Monday, February 3rd. And the draft's online right now, so if you want to go read online, you can read it. We'll also have a workshop January 13th. So if you guys want to do it before then, come to the workshop. We'll discuss everything that we're going to discuss on February. And then our next meeting is on February 4th to discuss 88 and then the two that didn't show up.
And so, the 22nd is off.
Yeah, 26 is off. Give me ready to get that.
All right.
What is the purpose of the workshop? Just informative?
Yeah, it's
for the public?
informative, just to everybody to look at before the meeting, I believe.
And then the two meetings in February, the city council meetings for
Yeah.
plan approval?
The 3rd and the 17th or 18th, one of those. 18th, yeah, 3rd and the 18th.
It'll be reviewed with city council at that time for
Yeah.
public comment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my favorite part, the courtesy of the floor to visitors.
Comments?
Seeing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?